Stan Lee said it best, is a comic book's a comic book no matter how you read it, but also a comic book is like a boo. You can look at a picture of it on a computer all day long, but it feels so much better in the hand.
Literature is I think it's gonna be dumbed down a little bit, honestly, because we are generalizing and associating everything more with newer technology like cell phones and computers, so it's gonna be more based upon computers and texting and calling than an actual like good book of literature as a story that was told.
I honestly believe that literature is just becoming more and more fictional. It's almost getting more difficult to interpret what's real and what's not. So, in all honesty, it seems like it's progressed throughout the years, that it's just been the same thing of, false and truth. And I mean, it could change for the better, it could change for the worse. So, I mean, in all honesty, I think that it could just continue to get worse because it confuses many of us in a lot of different ways, to where we look to other sources to find our knowledge that we want to know.
Like, whether it be nonfiction or fiction, it's so different from, say, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. I mean, I think that this is just what happens over time. People's ideas and thought processes change with each generation. So.
I think it's both. I think that that sometimes a piece of literature can move people into an area where they hadn't been thinking about it before.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I think that what's hot affects literature at the time, whether it be what's going on in the world. A lot of things you see now are what they call ripped from the headline stories, where someone takes something that's happening in the world and then writes a book about it or something like that. So I think that's always going to be the case where, whether it's the trending thing is what people are going to write about. There are always going to be classics, of course, that are going to be out there, but I really think what's going on in the world affects what's being written.
Literature really doesn't affect what's hot or not. That's more with the music and what people really think that's good.
Depending on what kind of literature, books, not necessarily, but I mean, there are some books that were written to just create a controversy, and that's why some books are banned.
In all honesty, I used to read a lot of books. So I used to love like fantasy books, but then I realized that it never gave me the answers to a lot of things. So being that
it's the Marvel Civil War series. Now there's movies coming out really soon, Marvel Civil War. I've read when the comics are coming out, and as weird as it is, it was one of the most mind-blowing comic series I have ever read.
The Holy Bible. Because of Scripture, because if you follow it day to day and you let God lead your heart, you'll always be on the right path.
So I'm a big reader, so I'm a huge reader, so I'm going to say, I'm going to take the less probably obvious answer, and I'm going to say the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because when Tolkien wrote that book,